Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Monday morning. It's the 26th day of June, 2023. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office, where as I look out the window, it looks like a beautiful morning. Another great looking day coming up. The next few days are also looking really nice again. More of the same of what we've been seeing so far in this month of June, with comfortable temperatures below average. And the interesting thing about the average temperature for the month, I'll use Sacramento here as a proxy, but it probably is going to work for where you live as well, for Northern California. That so far, the month of June, when you take the high temperatures and the low temperatures and average them all together, right now the month of June is about 3 degrees below average, which is pretty significant. It's anything more than a degree either way of average is getting onto the more noticeable side. I know a degree doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking about an entire month and you're talking about the highs and the lows, and things tend to balance out, and you tend to see temperatures pretty close to average. You get something up around 3 or 4 degrees higher or lower than average, that's pretty noticeable. So this month, about 3 degrees cooler than average. The interesting thing is that last year, the month came in 3.5 degrees above average. Now, it doesn't always work out with this kind of symmetry that you see one June and then the next June balances it out. But that's how you get the averages. And when we talk about averages, we're talking about 30-year averages. That's the standard that the National Weather Service uses, a 30-year average that rolls over every decade. So right now we're using an average that is from 1991 to 2020, and then that will change again in 2030. We'll get a new set of averages that'll be either higher or lower, or when it'll change the average precipitation and that sort of thing. So just a little bit of numbers for you, but the next couple of days we'll continue with below average temperatures. But of course, the big thing is that everybody's looking at is the potential for heat later on this week. I'll get to that here in just a second. First, I do want to point out that we could see a couple of thunderstorms in a few spots today. I'll show you the HRRR. And as we go through the day into the afternoon, this is about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, some rain up once again in the Northeast Plateau, Eastern Sierra, so Reno, and then maybe down 395 into the east, maybe a pop-up shower here in, Eastern Mendocino County. So those dissipate as we head into the evening. Maybe a little bit of activity into Lassen County, maybe northern Plumas County, all that activity maybe north of Honey Lake and north of Quincy. That dissipates, and then on Tuesday, we would see maybe a bit more activity. This is Tuesday at 6 p.m., same locations up toward Shasta, maybe northern Plumas County, and then the eastern side of the Sierra. So once again, we'll probably see those big thunderheads pop up, but nothing that's really going to impact the western slope. So let's talk about the overall weather pattern here, because this is what's about to change, and this is what we're going to be seeing later on this week. Not today, not tomorrow. Next few days still look really, really nice. So this is our overall weather pattern, what we call a baggy trough here, and that's why we're seeing some of that instability. Let me go forward a couple of frames. We'll get into first thing Tuesday morning. So ridge here, you've been hearing about the heat over Texas. So the ridge here, troughiness here, so cooler than average here, warmer than average here. So that's Tuesday. This is Wednesday. So Wednesday, we still have this baggy trough hanging around. So for those of you that work outside or, just like to do anything outside, just terrific weather through the day on Wednesday. Thursday, that trough begins to lift out. This is Thursday afternoon. We finally get a ridge here, a little bit of offshore flow aloft, not as much of an onshore breeze. And that means temperatures on Thursday, where we're looking at probably something like 98 for downtown Sacramento on Thursday. And then with a warmer start and that ridging building in and offshore flow, Friday will likely be something in the range of 102, 103, something like that. We're still going to dial in those numbers over the next couple of days, but the exact numbers remain to be seen. And then as we get into the day on Saturday, we're still in that same range, 101, 102. Sunday, probably about the same. Monday, the 3rd of July, kind of the same thing. You see weather systems here to our north, but we have this ridging. Now, this little low right in here it's this kind of very small feature that the models don't do all that well with, especially a week out. But it's this sort of thing that could be just enough to give us a delta breeze and to knock temperatures down for the 4th of July. But other than that, you're looking at large-scale warming for the western states. And I can show you in a different way here. So these are temperatures up around 10,000 feet. And what I'm showing you is across the country. So this is where we are today. These are temperatures that are very warm, up around 10,000 feet, 18 degrees C. So 18 degrees, that's 36 minus 3, that's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, if you will. And then we have the cooler weather, the cooler temperatures aloft here over California and all of the western states. These temperatures only around 5 degrees, which is low 40s, or right around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is where the warm area is, and this is where it is today. This is getting into the day on Tuesday. You can see the same pattern. Warm, cool. This is Wednesday, and then this is Thursday night. You can see these warmer temperatures coming in, and then as we get into Friday, Saturday, this is Saturday afternoon, you can see actually Texas has finally cooled off, and now we have the heat basically centered over the Intermountain West here, right over the spine of the a little west of the Rockies, over Utah, over the Great Basin, and over California. So that's how we get our heat. And our temperatures for the valley will really depend on the amount of onshore breezes we get, which is going to be tough to forecast this far out. But again, we're probably going to be seeing valley temperatures somewhere in the range of, 100, 103, depending on delta breezes, starting on Friday and maybe lasting into Tuesday. And beyond that, we'll see another bit of a change. So the bottom line here this morning is 3 more comfortable days before we do see a warm up. And right now it does look as though the weekend is going to be hot for the first time this year, with temperatures at or above 100. So let's see, I'll be on KCRA tonight at 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11, the usual times. And let's see, tomorrow morning I'll have another update here, and tomorrow evening there'll be a Facebook live chat about all this as well. So it is a good looking day, a very comfortable day. Enjoy it, make the best of it, and I'll talk with you later.